Hi everyone, my name is Madison Coulter, and my case study is titled Coming Back from a Crisis: How Starbucks Almost Lost Their Reputation. So I'm sure most of you have at least a little bit of back knowledge on Starbucks and their brand, but giving you a little bit of history, Starbucks was founded in 1971 in Seattle, Washington by Jerry Baldwin, Gordon Bowker, and Zev Seigel. The three actually met in college in San Francisco, and their shared love of coffee and tea kind of sparked their business venture. Now, fast forward 10 years later, Howard Schultz entered the scene, and he soon became CEO and kind of paved the way for how Starbucks is now. He actually is the one who enforced their mission statement, and that would be, oh, wrong way, my bad. So their mission statement is actually to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. So as you can see, this is a very inclusive and all-encompassing mission. Now on to what happened. Obviously there was an incident that happened that could have broken their brand. So what happened? In April of 2018, two black men, Dante Robinson and Rashawn Nelson, they were at a Starbucks in Philadelphia. They were meeting for a meeting about real estate opportunities. So they had taken a seat and used the restroom and everything, and they hadn't ordered yet. They were actually sitting and waiting for a third gentleman to come and join them for this meeting. So one of the baristas noticed that they were just kind of sitting there, not ordering anything, and that barista saw it as loitering. So the barista actually approached the two men and asked them to leave. They said that they were trespassing. And obviously the two men refused, and they said they were not leaving. And so the barista went and got their manager that was on shift, and the manager approached the two men and demanded that they left because they were trespassing, and the situation ended up escalating. The police were called to the scene, and the two men ended up being handcuffed and escorted out of the store. Now, videos were taken of this incident in the store, and they were immediately posted online, and it went viral very quickly. The whole community in Philadelphia and across the world really was in outrage, and they even started protesting outside of that store in Philadelphia. So the aftermath. How did Starbucks respond to this? Obviously, when a big scandal like this happens, PR has to step in, and you have to start recouping. So 3 days later, the current CEO, Kevin Johnson, released an apology video. He placed all the blame on himself, and he said that this is not, the Starbucks brand, this is not how we handle things, and he issued a sincere apology. Immediately after this video was released, Johnson made an appearance on ABC's Good Morning America. Again, he stated his apologies, and he made it known that this is not how Starbucks handles things. After that, Johnson personally flew to Philadelphia and apologized to the two men, Robinson and Nelson, who were wrongfully arrested. Now, Starbucks knew that an apology video, it wasn't going to go very far. So after the apology video, after the anger, started fuming up, they decided that they were going to really hone in on racial sensitivity. So to do this, they decided on May 29th of 2018 that over 8,000 stores were going to close for the day and hold a racial bias training for all of their employees. As you can see here, they posted up signs on the wall saying that they were going to be closed this entire day. This entire day was going to be dedicated to racial sensitivity. They also issued a new policy where people were allowed to use the restroom even without a purchase, which people seemed to vary like this because it sparked a lot of issues with the bathroom issue. And from this point forward, I mean, it wasn't just that day that they were going over racial sensitivity. From this point forward, they instated that racial bias training became mandatory for each new employee. So how did the public react to this PR? Obviously, many people were very outraged, and a lot of eyes were on Starbucks, and so they were paying attention to their actions and how they were responding to the criticism. Time magazine actually issued an article on the racial bias training that Starbucks held, and they interviewed several employees. A majority of the employees actually seemed to really enjoy the training, and they took a lot from this training. They explained that the hands-on role-playing scenarios were very beneficial, and they took a lot from this. So a majority of the employees felt very positively about this racial bias training. And obviously, there are going to be people who do not forgive Starbucks, and they probably will never ever support them again. But the majority seems to have forgiven Starbucks. They really have noticed the changes that Starbucks enforced, and they have forgiven, the incident that happened in 2018. So in conclusion, I believe that Starbucks handled the situation pretty well. A lot of big brands like this probably would have stopped at the apology, but Starbucks decided to take it further, and they decided to immediately take action and make changes within their corporation. So I think if anything like this happened in the future to other companies, I think it would be smart that they take a look at this case and they take some pointers from how Starbucks came back from this scandal.